Hello everyone, it's your friend Gloria from Gloria's Crafts. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm going to be making two wind chimes out of epoxy resin and molds that I purchased from Amazon. So we're going to get started. I am using a new kind of resin. It is called Pro Marine Supplies Tabletop Epoxy, and the hardener is also from the same company. Resin is extremely expensive, just so you know, and I wanted to give this a try. I don't know how it's going to turn out because I'm new to this, so that's why I'm trying to see what I like the best. So right now I have poured into my measuring cup 2 cups of the epoxy and 2 cups of the epoxy hardener. Now, right now it looks cloudy, so I'm going to keep, it's also, just so you know, it's very thick compared to what I have used in the past. I'm not sure how it's going to work out, but I'm pretty excited. So I'm just going to keep mixing it, and I'm going to show you what else we need while I continue to mix this. So I have these little cups that will hold some of the resin in here. I also have different shades of mica powder. I don't know if you can see that. It's called mica powder. I have several different of them. I have these little scrapers that I have gotten from Amazon. I also have popsicle sticks. These can be used over and over again. Sometimes if you clean your sticks off with your baby wipes, you can use these again. I also have purchased this adorable, I'm not sure if you can see it, angel mold. I'm going to do one in orange and white, that's my favorite color, and another one in blue, and I'm going to make a wind chime out of this. I also am going to use my resin to make the wings. I'm going to make the wings gold, and I'm going to give it a shot on one of these butterflies. I'm not sure if this is going to work out. This is actually a cake mold for doing icing, but I purchased it to see how it'll work out. So I'm going to continually mix my resin because this stuff hardens. Let's see how fast we have to work. Mix thoroughly. It has to cure for 72 hours. Just says mix thoroughly. It doesn't tell you how much work time you have, but it is starting to become clearer. When you're mixing, make sure you do the sides and the bottom. So I have, it actually is kind of bending my large popsicle stick, so it might be better with a spatula because this is bending, but that's okay. At least next time I'll know to use a spatula. So we're going to get started. I am going to, I believe this is all mixed up. Looks good to me. Hope it looks good to you. It's clearer than it was. It has some bubbles, but we're going to blow them out. You can blow them out with a blow dryer or a heat gun or a torch, but be careful with a torch because you could set your mold on fire. So I have these little cups, and I'm going to pour some of, whoa, it's very, very fast coming out. I didn't realize it was going to come out that fast, and holy moly, I also forgot to put on my gloves. So I have to get to that right now and put on my gloves because you do not want resin without gloves. I also have on my table silicone mats for easier cleanup, but I wasn't expecting that to come shooting out of there. That came out, I thought because it was thicker, it was going to take a while to come out. I apologize. But I am learning. So right now I am scraping up the extra, because resin, like I said, of course I just spilt it, is very expensive. And so if you pour too much resin, the thing that I like to do is just make other stuff until all the resin's gone, because it really, for 2.5 gallons, it's $67 just for the resin, not counting the molds and the other items you have. So you don't want to waste your resin as much as possible. I am trying to clean this up before I put my gloves on, because I have it pretty much everywhere and I don't want to waste all my gloves. So I'm going to wipe this up with my baby wipes as best I can, and then I think I'm going to pour what I had poured into my little cup into another cup, because I have created a real mess here, and I honestly thought it was thick, but I also have to hurry due to the fact that this could start setting up. So I am trying to clean as much as possible. I am going to take a baby wipe and use that with my little cup and pour that into a regular cup, and then I'll get my gloves on. Alright, so I'm going to take this, pour it into this cup. I don't know if you can see that. There, wait, there you go. So I am pouring it into the cup. Not happy about this at all, but I got it everywhere. And I believe you saw that I got it everywhere. So I'm going to take out as much as possible and set that aside. That'll harden and then I can clean it out. So I'm going to set that aside and get another one. But while I'm here with my resin, I'm going to mix what I have in the big container, because you don't want it to harden. Let me put this over here so you can see me. I don't want it to harden. So I'm going to use another little cup, put it right here, and gently pour some of this resin into the cup. Much better this time. So I want to have enough to put the color in, and I'll have enough for my butterfly, the gold coloring I want to use, the white coloring I want to use, the orange and the blue. So I'm going to put this aside for right now and grab 2 more cups, because right now my goal is to just fill these cups with the resin. And like I said, I have wasted resin many times by making too much, not using it in time, and it gets hard. And you'll know when it's hard. You don't even have to ask, you'll know. I mean, I'm new at this, and I immediately knew that was a waste of product. Here's another one. Stirring it up. Continue to stir and stir. You're going to get some bubbles. That's okay. Now we're pouring it into this cup. So, stir, stir, stir. Now, I'm going to put that aside for a moment. Hopefully I'll get this moving right along. And I am going to take the white mica powder. I need to open it and take off the tin foil. I should have done that before I mixed my resin. Live and learn. You do not need a lot of the mica powder to make it dark in your... Okay, so you just want to continually mix it and make sure that it's totally mixed. That's our white. Now, I'm going to do 2 different color blues. So I'm going to take the top off, and I'm going to get my little mica stick, here is the light blue. I'm mixing it. You want to keep stirring it to make sure all the mica powder gets mixed. And I thought about it, if it's translucent, it's not a big deal. It's actually a wind chime, so it's okay. I also want to mix this one so that it doesn't get hard. You definitely don't want it to get hard. Now I have a darker blue that I'm going to use. So I'm going to bring this cup over here, grab a little bit of the mica powder, put it in there, put the lid on, dunk this little bad boy in there so I can get the color off of my little stick, and try and get that off. It's a good idea to keep baby wipes near you. Now I need more sticks and stuff to mix everything. So this mica powder is not totally mixed. You can really see through it, and there's some on the sides. So you want to give it a good mix. A good mix darkens it up. It's still a little light, but you can see the blue. If you want to add more, you can add more. I believe I'm going to add more color because that is really, really translucent, and I don't want it that light. So I'm going to add some more. So it's called Cobalt. Of course, I got that from Amazon also. So I put a little in, and let's see how it looks once we mix this together. So far I have white, blue, light blue, and this color. It's a little more dark. So I'm going to keep scraping the sides and mixing. Now I have this, which I am going to make gold with my pure gold mica powder. And I have a little hole open, so I'm going to put some in. This is going to be for the wings and I believe the horn that she has. And I'm going to give this a good mix. So you only need a little of the mica powder. And I'm also going to use the colors I'm making so that I can make the butterfly or butterflies that I'm going to try to make. So here's the gold. Now I have white, light blue, dark blue, that, and I need some orange because I'm going to make one that's orange. So I need to pour more into a cup, and this is the cup I have right here for right now because I did have enough cups, but then I wasted one because I poured way too fast. So keep mixing so that it doesn't harden on you as best you can. I don't need a lot of orange, but I do need some. So I'm going to take my little mica accessory that I have here. I'm going to open this up a little bit more and put some mica powder in here. It doesn't matter if it's translucent. I just want you to be able to see the color when it's done. Like, I want you to know it's orange or it's blue or it's gold. So, putting these aside, now I'm going to mix up the orange. As you can see, it gets on the sides, so you want to get the sides as best you can. go up and down with your popsicle stick. It's still pretty much very clear, but I think you'll be able to tell that there's orange in it. So, we're going to start with the angels first. I'm going to move this out of the way. I have a lot of mica powder around, and here's our angels right here. So, I'm going to do the person, the angel herself. Try not to do the horn. So I'm going to try and do her head and her hair and her arm, possibly the horn, in just the white. So mix it around. I'm running out of time, just so you know. And I'm going to gently pour into the mold. Easier than it looks. I have shaky hands because I'm older now, and for some reason I do not have the best control of like a little tremor in my hands, but I'm trying. So what I want to do is try and scrape some of that back in on her. Try and scrape it back. And then her wings I'd like to be gold. So I have the gold right here. And I believe it's starting to get hard. So we better get moving. So I'm going to pour her wings. And pour her other part of her wings. And I got a little carried away, of course, because that's what I do. As Gloria, I get carried away. And you want them totally filled, her wings. I don't know, honestly, how this is going to turn out. I've never made one of these, but I love to do crafts, so I figured I'd give it a whirl to make an angel wind chime. So, I have, now if you can see, the white is coming down because the gold is pushing it through. So I'm going to get a little bit of gold and put it for the horn. Right here. She has a hand holding the horn, so I'm going to get more white to put in the horn. So while we're working on the gold, like we're doing here, as best we can, I'm going to fill my angel wings. I have more than one set of angel wings. Move this over so you can see. And I'm going to fill my angel wings. And I'm going to make another set of angel wings also, because I have more molds for angel wings. So this is just going to go on my wind chime. And I'm just trying to figure out what I can do with resin, what I can, what I can't, what's good, what's not good, experimenting, trying to learn, and I think that's a fun thing. So now I was thinking to do the blue and the blue for her dress. So we're going to move the camera over this way so you can see her little dress, and it does have some gold on it. This might be easier if I was to just do the whole thing one color, but I honestly never do anything that's easy. I have to at least give it a try. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to do like every other one so that I can put in the other blue with this. So I'm going to try and fix more of it, but I'm just trying to use my items as quickly as possible. Now I have the darker blue right here, and I'm going to try and put that on the second angel's part of her dress and see how that works out. This could end up being a hot mess. I don't know, but I won't know until I try. And I honestly think this is going to be outstanding. once I ever get done. But I wanted to make her dress a couple different colors. So, because I like the blue. And hopefully the gold will just blend right in there and it'll look super. But we shall see. Now I'm going to try for some orange. Orange is my favorite color. We still have to blow this out. But since I'm just doing all orange over here, I just dumped it all in. So, there you go with the orange. I was trying to get fancy schmancy with the blue. Fancy schmancy with the blue. So, I'm going to try a little more of the light blue in here because we're just going to give it a little whirl here of the light blue. Not sure how it's going to turn out. It could be totally outstanding, which would make my whole day. Not exactly sure. So the colors are going to run a little bit, which happens. I have the angel wings doing their thing. I need to get my blow dryer, heat gun, and blow out the bubbles. It looks like her wings over here need more. So I'm just going to give her some more gold. Whoops, got carried away again. What I tell you guys, I get carried away. I do too much, I overcompensate. Been my problem my whole life. But not a bad problem to have. So, there she is. There they are, the ladies. That was for her wings. This little miss wings right there look good. Now I have to find my other wings. My other molds for wings. Because I know I have alright, let's do the butterfly while we're waiting. Because I'm not sure how this butterfly is going to turn out. So I'm going to try to use the colors I have, because this is what I have. So let's come on over here to the butterfly. Trying to move these little ladies, and I'm going to put some blue, little blue over here, little blue over here, because you know butterflies aren't all the same color. So I have a little bit in each. So I'm going to spread that out. Spread it out. Try and get it in those little holes. And then I'm going to go with the darker blue on the other side. Who's to say if we're going to be able to tell the difference? It's hard to say. But we shall see, right? So here is the darker blue, some darker blue, some darker blue. Oh, this is so much fun. And then I have to do the little body. So there you go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of orange in here, just to see what it will look like with a little bit of orange. Okay, a little bit more. You don't need the whole thing covered, I don't think. But, like I said, learning. Now I'm going to do a little bit of the white. Oh, how pretty, but yes, it is getting hard. So we got to get moving here. Got to get moving here. So there you have a bunch of different colors in your butterflies. And I need to get my big container and mix that. Don't want it to get hard, which it is. and I'm going to come back when this is done and show you what I've done. Okay, bye. Okay, it's been 24 hours since our little angels have been in the mold, also our wings, and our butterflies that are in a cake mold, so I'm not sure how that's going to turn out. So let's start with our young lady. Oh, and I forgot to tell you, when you do your resin, it's a good idea to cover them while they dry so that no dust or anything gets on them while they're curing. Now, gently take it out, and if you can see, she's got quite a bit of the colors mixed, but I have to get this off with my Dremel, all of this, but I think she's actually very, very pretty. I wish that maybe there was more gold down here, but she's also still very fragile because it takes 72 hours for it to totally cure, so it'll be easy for me to get these extra pieces off. You can cut them with scissors. It might ruin your scissors, so I use a Dremel, and I will be dremeling where the excess is to get it off. Here's the one I made that was orange and with the wings. Take her out gently. Let's see how she looks. Okay, not bad. So I have two. Now you could put them together if you wanted, because they pretty much line up fairly well, but I'm going to be using one for each of my wind chimes. So of course there's not as much excess on the orange one, so I have to also make sure that this hole is open so I can use that to hang up. Then here's the other hole where it has all this, but it's going to take time for this to still cure. I don't think they look horrible. Here's our wings. The one side looks really good, the other side has excess, but see how I can bend this? So that's how you can tell that it's not fully cured. This is hard, but you can still move it. So you want to, it takes 72 hours. Here's our butterflies that I was leery about due to the fact that it's a cake mold. So I'm going to start with the one wing, gently. It's very, very thin, by the way. Oh, it's hooked to the next one and the next one, and it has the little butterfly piece. So it's very delicate, but I think it came out really well. So of course it's going to take a while to cure, and I'm going to get my Dremel and my scissors and cut off the pieces. So here's the other wings. As you can see, there's excess and everything. I got a couple air bubbles, but as far as it goes for using a cake for icing, I think this turned out really well, because you get all the detail that's in there, and I'm eventually going to make more of the center, but you know, I could put the center on, use the wings, make the wings darker, you know, add a little color, whatever. So I am going to get these all taken apart and cut them down and work on them to make my wind chime. But just so you know, it does take 72 hours for it to totally cure. I could still bend her. I don't want to bend her, so what you need to do is, after you're done doing what you think needs done to make her look perfect, because now's the time you can put her back in her mold so that she'll keep her shape. Or you could just put her on a flat surface, her and a friend, and then you can, in 72 hours, start making your wind chime. Sorry, I zoned out looking at her. Okay, so I will be back. Okay, so it's been 48 hours. They're harder than they were. I made sure that I cut anything that was hanging off, and I made sure I still had my hole on my little angel. So what I'm going to do right now is called, oh sorry, my bad, I had to fix that. It's called doming. So right now this could be a little harsh, so I'm going to show you how to dome your, oh my, I am so sorry, my camera fell, forgive me. Okay, here we go. Alright, hopefully it won't fall again. It's called doming, so it won't have a flat shape, it'll kind of have a little dome. And I have my resin, because nobody wants to see me do my resin. So basically you want to put it on and make a little dome shape. Now, not sure if I had told you, but after 24 hours, that's when you should file, sand down, cut off any of the resin that is extra on your piece, so that it's not fully cured, it's not fully hard, it won't damage your nippers, it won't damage your Dremel. It wouldn't damage your Dremel anyway, but, or if you're using sandpaper. I notice with sandpaper there's a problem with that because of the fact that with sandpaper it kind of leaves a white resin all over it and it's hard to get off. But right now what I'm doing, it's called doming. So I am putting acrylic on the back, so it'll be thicker, it won't be pointy where there's sharp edges. So I'm just layering a little bit of resin on the back. This is going to take another 24 hours to cure, and then 72 hours for it to totally be cured. So we're on our next day, and I am making sure that I am doming my angels. And I wanted to share with you how to do that. It's not very technical or very complicated. You're just going along your pattern and making sure that you have acrylic on all of it so that there's no jagged edges, and it's kind of like domed on the back of your item. It gives it a nicer, cleaner appearance also. So that is what I am doing with my popsicle stick, and going down all her items. And the one good thing is tomorrow, after 24 hours, it'll still be pliable, it won't be totally hard. I can then, in turn, I can sand down any unwanted areas. So she is done with her doming. I have to do this young lady's wings, and then over here I have the alphabet that I'm making keychains that I'm going to dome the back of them. It just gives it a smoother finish, and it also makes your item thicker. And these angels are for a wind chime, well, wind chimes I am making. So I just wanted to share with you my process of what I do. Okay, we're still not ready to assemble our beautiful, beautiful angels into a wind chime yet. So we'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll work on that. Okay, so this literally took days. I have the angel. I have her on her cord that I got from the Dollar Tree. I have a coaster and a bunch of things hanging down. Got these from Amazon. They're not very big. Some of these items here I made with resin. Just pop it off. And I put them on there with also beads that I got from Walmart. Then I got this from Amazon. It's for making jewelry. I think these are called eye hooks, I believe. I took these. They're very, very tiny. That's what it looks like. And what I did was, I used this tool and I drilled it down. I cut the eye hook, that's what I'm going to call it, to about that big. And then I put some Gorilla Glue on each of these. And then on the other side, I did the same thing with Gorilla Glue. And now I'm going to show you what one wind chime looks like, because even though I was doing two, it took me days and I finally got just one put together. So I'm going to show you what it looks like all together. I have the chain, I have the angel, I have the coaster, and I have all of the wind chime, doodads and all on there to make it make noise when it's windy. So I'm going to take pictures and show you. I have wings. Everything in the middle is pretty much resin, other than these beads that I got from Walmart, and I put them on the sides and I added more little bells. I think the next time I'm going to get thicker ones because these aren't that thick, but I'm going to show you what it looks like hanging up. This is what she looks like from top to bottom. She's on my door, and you can't really see the fishing line that's here that I use for the coaster. And this is exactly what it looks like. The entire wind chime. Thanks so much for watching and being patient, because it takes days for this stuff to harden. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you next time.